Hey, it's John-hope-Bryant, founder and chairman of Operation Hope and author of Love Leadership, The New Way to Lead in a Fear-Based World. Talking to you at the moment on 5MK, our movement to make smart cool, to stay in school, and really talking about the issue of parents saying they can't talk to their kids about how to stay in school and make smart cool, and why that's such a difficult conversation. Respectfully, I disagree. I was at Alexander High School this morning in Douglasville, Georgia. Mixed race population, low wealth population, working class population. So there was blacks and whites and Latinos and Asians and others in the audience, mostly black and whites. They were all low wealth and struggling, dealing with hip hop culture, the good and the bad of it, dealing with thug culture, dealing with a dumbing down of their classmates and their environment, dealing with parents who are arguing at home over money and distracted and not giving them oftentimes attention that they deserve. We had a really great conversation. These kids, the good news is these kids were just inspiring and gave me hope that that they will lead us in the new generation. And as my book, Love Leadership, says, loss creates leaders and rainbows only follow storms. And I think that these kids are going to turn negatives into positives. I told the kids that if you've been abused as a child, you end up growing up depressed, or you end up abusing. So the child abuser becomes a child abused, the child abused becomes a child abuser. Or you end up saving children from being abused. But one of those three things will happen to your life. And I believe these kids will be the ones who save those children from being abused around them, as an example. But when I was wrapping up the session and I was walking out, we started having a real conversation with a group of young black young ladies about choices, and you know, this all this dumbing down and pans down your kneecaps, and you know, talking about, I explained to them, you know, that comes from jail. That when you don't wear a belt in your pants, the jailers take that out of your pants so you don't hang yourself. The tennis shoes with no shoelaces in it, that comes from prison. So that the jailers take the shoelaces out of your shoes so you don't hang yourself. So when you're hanging around, running around with your pants down to your kneecaps and your shoes with no shoelaces on, you think it's cool. You're really just a suicide watch victim. It's not cool. It's dumb. But anyway, we're talking, and you can't have that conversation with folks because they think it's cool. Everybody's doing it, and it's all good. So I said, look, let me explain this another different way. Let me ask you a question. I'm not going to explain anything. I'm going to ask you a question. I asked a young lady, let's say her name is Crystal. I asked her, Crystal, look, you're 19 now, and it's actually a real example. I'm just giving you a different name to protect her identity. I said, Crystal, you're 19 now. Let's now fast forward. And you're hanging around with all these boneheads and knuckleheads I'm talking about who think that they're cool. Let's fast forward now. You're 35. You've gone to school. You finished high school. You've gotten your college degree. You've gotten a job. You've gotten a career. You've gotten married. You've had babies in that order. Smile. I told them that as well. They laughed and they got it. So you're 35 now. You're married. You got a career. You got a child. You got a young girl. She's now 19. Brother walks to the front door. And you know, let's call him Bobo. And Bobo was at the door. Yo, 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 what's up, Mom? What's up, what's up, what's up? He's got tats on his shoulders, got dope teepuses in his mouth. He's got fake gold around his neck. His pants are dragging down to his kneecaps. He's like, yo, yo, you know, high school dropout. Yo, I want to hang out with your daughter. You know, I love your daughter. We together. We, you know, me and your daughter, we gonna get married. So I said to Crystal, what's your response? Crystal didn't blink. I can't even tell you what she said. She just said no. Heck no. She said something else, but basically, heck no. You're not going out. Forget marrying my daughter. You're not going out with my daughter. You're not hanging out with my daughter. You need to get out of here and go back to school. So I said to Crystal, check it out. That's a response from every parent. That's a response from you now. You're not even a parent. You're just projecting forward on what you want and don't want for your child. So why is that any different from what you would want for yourself right now? Why is that any different from who you'd hang out with right now? My mentor, Quincy Jones, one of my three mentors, Quincy Jones, Ambassador Young, and Reverend Murray, are my three mentors in life. But Quincy Jones says it takes 20 years to change a culture. In the last 20 years, I'd argue we've made dumb sexy. We've dumbed down and we've celebrated it. And now we've got to make smart sexy again. And we can do it. Show up booted and suited, in suits and ties and dresses in school with business cards, because this is what changed my life. A banker come in my classroom with a red tie on and a business suit unpacking the language of money. My mother gave me a sense of self-esteem, and I could do anything I want to do, and give me a sense of who I am and what I could do. And my dad owning a business. I'm an entrepreneur today because my dad was an entrepreneur. I'm not a genius. I had good role models, even though my dad was financially illiterate. And my mother was financially illiterate. That's another story for another time. And that created dynamics in their career, their life, in their marriage. But my dad was a role model and a businessman. He wore a suit, and I wanted to be just like him. And I wanted to be like that banker. And at 10 years old, I started my first business. It was making smart sexy. It was making smart cool, and I wanted to stay in school. That's also the message of the Gallup Hope Index and our city's initiative. It's the message for our new Office of Small Business and Entrepreneurship at Operation Hope, and the Hope Business in a Box initiative for young people to spur a generation of entrepreneurs and self-employment projects, and to make smart cool again. And watch out for the Quincy Jones edition curriculum we're coming out for Banking on Our Future. More to come, but this is a message of hope and opportunity of what our kids are for, not what they're against, about their strengths and not their weaknesses. Our kids are not dumb and they're not stupid. It's what they don't know that they don't know that's killing them. God bless.